What Changing Lands has done for me, it's given me freedom. It's allowed me to be who God always designed me to be without something looming over my head, me having to keep something in the background that was really just destroying me. The sad part is it wasn't just destroying me, it was destroying my entire family.
From the wife's perspective, it's, am I actually ever going to be loved or valued or seen as a human being? We had this facade that we were this happy young couple, and so I didn't even want to acknowledge the truth myself.
Every time I tried to stop this, I would say, God, I want this gone, but I would just keep on going back. I was a terrible human being. In our marriage, I said, I guess this is just who I am, and it's not true. That's just a lie that Satan says just to tear us down, to tear apart our family. And I said, I don't care what I gotta do. I want this gone. And that's where I was led to Changing Lanes. It changed who I am.
At first, it was a lot of actually loneliness because it was hours every Monday night of me being alone with the kids. But I slowly saw the change in Dallas, which was encouraging. And now I see it as Dallas investing in other men so their wives and fiancés can see hope and encouragement as well.
It took a really good core group of guys to really drag me out of myself and show me what God really wants from me. It allows me to be who Brittany needs me to be. It allows me to be who my kids need me to be. Only God has the ability to make change like that.
I remember feeling so isolated and worried that my feelings were wrong. I should support my husband. That's how I felt. Well, what does that look like? Sometimes that's letting go and saying, this is your mess you created. I'm stepping back. You have to start the cleanup process here.
There was a moment when I was going through group, and it was when Stacy, one of the counselors that comes in and speaks to the guys, she started talking about how the wives are victims, and like I kind of thought about it, but it never really sat. And I feel like that was really one of our turning points.
That was a huge turning point.
And I was seeing all the things I've been doing to Brittany for years. I came home, and that night, I couldn't stop doing this. I was just sobbing. I just said, Britt, I am so sorry for everything I've done. I know I've told it to you thousands of times, but I didn't realize the victim that you were. And it was that moment that she started getting her voice back. She started being the Brittany that I fell in love with at the beginning. And it took somebody to step up that had their voice back to give the wives a voice. And that's why I'm so proud of her. Because as much as this is needed for the men, there's nothing like this for the ladies.
Coming home that night and apologizing to me with sincerity, and him telling me I am the victim of his choices. It's freeing. It's crumbling at first, of course. But there's identity in that, which gave me, okay, this is where I am, so now I can move forward. And finally, I was like, okay, I am only responsible for myself. I'm not responsible for his choices. And as wives have registered for the wives group and I've started seeing their thoughts, I was shocked how honest some of the wives were in their responses. Things like, how do I trust again? How do I feel wanted again? And so once I could actually acknowledge that and say those words, my husband is a porn addict, my husband is a sex addict, there's freedom in that truth.
There's a turning point where the shame doesn't hold the weight anymore. I'm a different man now. And that shame that would cycle me back into it doesn't hold the weight anymore. It allows me to walk in the confidence that God created me to be. And with that, it allows me to be the leader that Brittany always desired me to be. I wouldn't trade my time as a leader for anything in the world. Getting to share Christ with these guys every single week, I'm able to tell them, I've been there, I've done that. If you'll just push through just a little bit longer, just to see the other side, you'll see it so sweet that you're never gonna want to go back.